Hi there. If you haven't seen the last video, my name's Nev and I'm teaching software design and development in New South Wales for the first time. So I'm looking for a project which will allow me to go through all of the theory which is in the syllabus and put that into 3 different languages. Just sizing my OneNote pages here with my notes on them. So what the syllabus asks is for the development cycle, first we need to define the business need. Well, this scissors, paper, rock game has been around for 1,000,000 years. If we play it once or twice, we'll have it pretty cleverly defined, pretty clearly defined. We can break it into parts. That means the user is going to play the computer. So first the user needs to choose scissors, paper or rock. Then the computer needs to make a random choice. Then we need to compare those two choices and bring out a result, which will be win, lose or draw. And then if we get up to it, we'll ask the user if they want to play a game. Now we then need to do an input-output chart, input, process, output. So our only input is going to be scissors, paper, rock. We could convert that to a number if we wish, or to a single character, char if we're working in Pascal. And that is going to compare the user choice with the computer choice. I probably should have inverted commas here. And then the output will be win, lose or draw. Reasonably straightforward. We've got a data dictionary here, and we'll have a user choice, a string, user choice which is a string. It's going to be entered by the user, and it's either going to be rock, paper or scissors. Probably should be just lowercase. We could get into problems with upper and lowercase, but let's get the thing working first before we worry about that stuff. A random number. Now, in most languages, we need to define all our variables. In JavaScript, we could do without that random number. And being of the mind of a typical teenager, of course, I jumped in and actually wrote some program for this. The piece that I copied from the internet actually had computer choice starting off as a decimal. Random number is a decimal. The function in JavaScript is a decimal between 0 and 1. Now, it then says, okay, let's do a series of if statements. If that computer choice is less than a third, we'll convert our number to a string. If it's less than 2/3, we'll convert it also to a string. And if it's left over, then if it's bigger than 2/3, it'll be scissors, which is also a string. So for most programming languages, that's regarded as sloppy. So for myself, I would like to include a separate variable called random number, which is a decimal or a float or a double if you're working in VB. And that's going to have, we're going to do the if statement on that. Computer choice will be a string. For me, I'm just going to use the word scissors, paper or rock, lowercase. And our result is going to be win, lose or draw. So data dictionary, reasonably straightforward. Flowchart. Now that's quite tricky. Once you've done a few, it gets a lot easier, but in the early stages, it's a little bit tricky to work out just what level of detail to go into. I'm using U for user and C for computer choice. So if both the user and the computer choose the same thing, then they're going to draw. And then the various combinations. There are 2 combinations if the user chooses paper. There are 2 combinations if the user chooses rock, and there are 2 combinations if the user chooses scissors. Okay, and then it comes to drawing a flow chart. I think I've got another OneNote here. Whoops, here it is. Planning. Let's duck down. Sorry, drawing up the pseudocode. Now, the pseudocode comes straight from the flowchart. So it's really just putting this diagram into a generic coded structure. So once I've done that, I really want to desk check it. I want to see whether various different combinations, if it was a looping code, then I'd probably go through loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. But as this code is dealing with different combinations of data entry, now I'm going to just slide that down there so it's beside here. If the user and the computer are both rock, we're going to have a tie. I haven't included the other cases where user and computer are the same, but they'll be a tie. I'm going through line by line in this code saying if the user is rock and the computer is paper, so user is rock, computer is paper, then lose. And so I'm putting that in here. I'm making sure that I have a win or lose outcome for all the different combinations, and it's looking okay. So I'm really thinking now that I've finished my planning, and I'm ready to start building. The average teenager would have started building hours ago. But hopefully by the time we build this in 3 languages, the value of this planning will prove itself. We'll leave Railroad and eBNF until we've actually got some code to look at. Thanks for listening so far.